Meeting to order. Beth, please take roll.
Barry,
Here.
Steve,
Here.
Bo,
Here.
Chris is absent.
Okay, we have a quorum. If everybody please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, consent agenda. What are the wishes?
Move to approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion? Beth, roll call, please.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
Motion carried. All right, item D is the public comment portion of the agenda. If anybody has a public comment that's not currently listed on the agenda, now is the time. Don't see any, so we will go on item E, number 1, the assessor.
Good morning, Commission. Leah with the Assessor's Office. Late Friday, we were notified that we need to provide a list of properties that are to receive the 2025 PRC for mobile homes on permit. This list is generated only after those abatements are completed. So today I come to you requesting that you approve this blanket abatement so that we can start to compile this list and get it ready for the state. I have provided a preliminary list of the affected properties for your review, and I will update you with a updated list with amounts at the next commission meeting on February 3rd.
So tell me about it. What exactly are we doing?
So for mobile home on permit, so manufactured homes on the permit system, they weren't allowed to apply for the 2025 PRC in the normal fashion. They actually had a special window from August to the end of September to apply for their PRC. We now have to go back, and all of those payments that were made have to now be abatements and refunded to the property owners. So we are doing a blanket abatement like we did with the trusts to go ahead and start that work and get that going so that we can get that list back to the state and certify that to them.
Okay, and it makes more sense when I looked at it. Primary residence credit. I was dragging behind. That's my
I'm sorry.
Okay. PRC, I was confused. Any questions for Leah? What are the wishes, gentlemen?
Would make a motion to approve.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'd second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Discussion? Roll call, please.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Barry.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Motion carried. Okay, Development Services, Cameron.
Good morning, Commissioners. Development Services, we're in the initial stages of preparing amendments to our zoning ordinance. Two of the larger amendments that we're adopting would be adopting regulations for solar energy systems or solar farms and battery energy storage systems, which involve the storage of high voltage batteries for power grid backup. While staff works on these regulations, I am seeking that the County Commission approve a moratorium for solar energy systems and battery energy storage systems until December 31st of 2026, or until new regulations are adopted, whichever comes first. I think this would give staff enough time to work on the regulations and then present them to the County Commission for possible final approval. And I'm available if you have any questions.
Is that enough time, Cameron?
I think that should be a sufficient amount of time. Unlike data centers, we have found that other areas, local Western North Dakota specifically, have regulations in their zoning ordinance for these. So I think we can work on some of those to get ideas. If for some reason I do need a little extra time, I would come to the board for an extension of that moratorium.
Okay, any questions or comments?
As long as you got enough time to, don't crowd it too hard, I guess, because we can always lift it later or early.
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty confident we can get it done within that time frame. It really depends on what other projects come as we're working on these through the pipeline as far as applications and whatnot. But we should be able to get this done because we have other ordinances to work off and to go from there.
And we currently don't have anything in the pipeline, correct? As far as the solar or the battery storage?
We've heard of folks that are interested in that. Actually, Friday afternoon at about 4:00, we did get a call from a solar company. Never heard from them prior to that, and they said that they were interested in the possibility of having an application for a solar farm within Williams County. But we have had no hard applications or even pre-applications at this time. We have in the past had some pre-applications for battery energy storage systems. However, those never went any further than a pre-app. The applicant never came back to the office. We do have a meeting with another company later this month with a battery energy storage system possible development. That's the same folks that we had met with about a year ago, though. And I did let them know that we currently don't have any regulations for those. And there's two ways how our ordinance does protect us to be able to get regulations in place. And one of them is if it's not a specifically listed use or a definition, it's actually therefore considered a prohibited use. So my goal with these moratoriums isn't to not allow these developments, but it's to be able to get regulations in place to make sure they are properly located and that they are regulated for their use.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Cameron? What are the wishes?
I would make a motion to have a moratorium on solar energy and battery energy storage systems till December 31st of 26,
Yes, correct.
or until regulations are completed.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Discussion? Roll call, please, Beth.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Okay, motion carried.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cameron. All right, number 3, dispatch. The 1% application for I Am Responding. Are you presenting this one, Helen?
I think that Michelle thought this was going to be on the consent agenda.
Okay, I can do it.
Yeah.
She talked to me about it.
Yep. Why don't you go ahead?
Okay, basically, there's an I Am Responding program, and they are looking at doing it countywide, and these stuff will go through people's phones now, and it kind of helps them, and they thought it was a good use of the 1%, and I kind of agree with her. That way everybody will be on the same thing, and then they get directions and all the stuff on the phone. It's $35,481. So we just need approval to let her take that to the 1%.
I would so move.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes. Motion carried. Okay, highway and engineering. We're gonna should we bring bleachers so we got room for everybody?
Well, good morning. Tanner Sean has been appointed to the highway maintenance side. Tanner started in August of 15, and we put an agenda together for Tanner.
Good morning. Yeah, so like Dennis said, I started in 2015, month after I graduated high school. Born and raised here in Williston. In March of 2018, I was promoted to the road foreman position. So for the last 7 years, I've been in charge of kind of the maintenance crews day-to-day operations. I've enjoyed watching the county grow and improve over the last years and excited for all the good things to come in the future.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you. And then in the past, we've offered the $1,000 frost law permits. With the season coming, it's time to decide if we want to offer that again. It's worked well in the past.
Okay, somebody would like to make a motion?
I would make a motion that we continue the frost law program.
Is there a second?
No, second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or difficult questions for Tanner?
Hopefully not.
Roll call.
Chris,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, and then we're asking for permission to advertise for our annual generic bids for gravel crushing and hauling, culverts, hourly rates, all that good stuff.
This is just the normal one we do every year.
Yep.
Okay.
So move.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Wow, you guys are letting him off easy.
Easy.
Roll call, please. Brandon, don't count on it. You're next.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then the engineering side of it, Brandon Farrell, he started in August of 24. This is Brandon. He'll be the county engineer director. And then we put a list of stuff for him today.
Good morning. So my name's Brandon. I grew up in Williston. I've been doing engineering now for 10 years or so. Got a lot of experience in infrastructure, DOT, roadways, grant writing, bridges, wide range. Kind of worked away from Williston for a while now, but I'm back and going to take this role as the county engineer / engineering director. So today, going to ask for permission to bid or advertise for County Road 1, County Road 9, and then 3 bridge replacements. We're going to replace 3 bridges and do box culverts in those places.
Okay, anybody have any questions? If not, what are the wishes?
I'd move to put out the ads for bids on those projects.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, awesome. The other thing we're gonna, Ackerman Asphalt here today. They're gonna do a presentation on the SS4A grant that they have been working on this last year. Steve is here to present the grant. So yeah, I'll just let you.
Good morning, Chairman Hanson and Commissioners. As you are likely aware, we've been working on a roadway safety action plan for the county over the past, basically the past 12 months. My name is Steve Eberly. I'm with Ackerman Estavold. We worked on this plan collaboratively with SRF Consulting as a subconsultant, and of course our local county officials and stakeholders. With that, I'll try to keep it brief today. There's a lot to unpack. Hopefully, you folks have had a chance to see this 200-page piece of work that we've been working on. And the idea here today is to approve the plan for implementation. This plan will allow the county to seek federal grant funds through USDOT for project implementation. That comes at an 80-20 cost share. So very similar to the grant that was provided to write this plan. We'll get this project going. So with that, next slide. I'll give a quick recap. Project timeline. Applications made back in 2023, June 2023. Fortunately, things with USDOT don't move real fast, so it was awarded in December, but not authorized till the following year in late 2024. We were selected, I think, in December or January of 2020, 2024, 2025, and have been working on the project collaboratively over the last 12 months. Basically developed the plan over 6 months, and then there was a period of comments and so forth that we went through in QCQA, which brings us to today. The idea of this project plan that goes hand in hand with North Dakota's NDDOT's Vision Zero plan. Basically, the goal here is to reduce severe and fatal traffic impacts by 50% by 2040. Next slide. The project, next slide. There we go. The project, essentially, it's a highly analytical, data-driven project. Basically reviewing crash data that we were able to get from DOT and local sheriff's departments and or crash data that is recorded and reported. Amongst that, we reviewed safety practices for state and federal levels, implemented these into a single plan. Next slide. And then worked with local stakeholders to help guide the development of the plan. So we established a steering committee made of those folks that you see, I believe, on the left-hand side of the screen. Many Williams County officials, along with DOT and other folks that helped us guide the plan. That helped steer the way to steering committees. And what we were looking for is input from the people traveling these roadways and using your roadway networks on a daily basis. So as you know, important factors are working with the folks with emergency services, your school districts, your bus drivers, your local highway department that are out on these roads every day, and helping to collaboratively identify those safety concerning spots within the county roadway system and or that have vehicular and pedestrian interfaces that can create some safety issues. Next slide. So what that boils down to is we develop what we call a high injury network. That high injury network is a compilation of all of that data that we put together. That you can see the data points, I guess, located on the screen here. Next slide. And what we do is we take all those data points and we start prioritizing them, and we split them into different roadway categories. So we have segments, curves, and intersections. Within those categories, we work through a list of prioritization factors that help us prioritize, I'll say most important to least important, based on basically that input that we got from the public, from our stakeholders, and from those focus groups, along with the crash data. So we start overlaying that data together to see where we have multiple points of interest. So projects that have had crashes, have that local, I'll say that local stakeholder input and have identified that same location. And then we start prioritizing those based on a series of factors that help us guide the direction of the plan. Next slide. So I've got 3 different maps here. I'll kind of burn through these pretty quick, but it gives you an idea of kind of how we started and how we got to where we're at. Essentially, this is for the segments. Like I said, segments, intersections, and curves are the three types of roadway improvement areas that we looked at. Which you see there on the left-hand side. And when we talk about that 70th, 80th, and 90th percentile, those are the spots that have, when you see those spots, those are ones that have multi-factor identification points, whether they were stakeholder input, multiple crashes. So when you get to that 90th percentile, you know that there was multiple concerns at that location. And when the location was reviewed, it had safety identified issues that could be resolved. Next slide. So within that, this is very similar. The analyzed priority curves, there's approximately 280 curves of data points, and then we boiled those down to the ones we had prioritized within the ranking. Next slide. And the same for the intersections. So this kind of gives you an idea of where we started and where we got to with the plan and with the prioritization. Next slide. So in total, the plan outlined just about $15 million of safety improvements that could be done across the curves, segments, and intersections throughout the county. Those include adding rumbles. These are safety improvement ideas, so these are not full-out rebuilds. These are more like, can we add dynamic signage? That's those lit signs that help grab the driver's attention better than just a a sign that they might not see or drive through. Turn lanes, bike ped lanes, widening shoulders. It's projects like that. So in total, there was, like I said, about $15 million that were identified. The next step here would be implementation of this plan. And this plan allows the county a roadmap for here and into the future of prioritizing your projects and helping you guide some of your decision making in the future. With that, we have worked with our folks, consultants at SRF. We've been successful, I guess, within our project team at getting some implementation grant dollars for other communities and stakeholders in North Dakota and similar projects. And the sweet spot for this is approximately about 10 million bucks, plus or minus on the US DOT side for grant implementation. So after this plan is adapted and move forward, it'll allow the county to apply for implementation dollars. Those dollars will become available for 2026, likely starting about the end of February. There's not a hard date that they open the application window, but typically it's late February, early March. So it's about an 8 to 10 week window. It's about a 20-page application process, but this plan right here with the adoption will guide the implementation and application for those grant dollars. Next slide. I was a little bit behind here on my slides, but so at the end of the day here, upon implementation and as the county goes through your plans, the other key note here is to make sure that the plan stays updated so you can continue to kind of check off the list and then monitoring those fatalities and high injury crashes to see a collective improvement for that goal of 50% reduction by 2040. With that, I guess I would open it up to questions and or, county's consideration for approval and adoption.
Sounds real simple. Thank you guys for all the hard work. It's an important document that we're going to need, and if we can get that kind of money from the next level up, that's kind of huge. So appreciate all the hard work. Any questions from the commission? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I would make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Okay, motion carried. Thank you
Chairman
guys again
Haslett,
for all the hard work.
Appreciate it.
Okay, I don't think we missed anybody. I think we're down to
Sorry, I'm hauling a lot today. All right. So I guess we'll go in the order we have on the agenda. Position report. You'll see that the position we have listed for approval is called a senior surveyor. Part of what we've identified is we've had an EIT and engineer in training position listed for a number of months, and we haven't had any success recruiting someone. That means it's somebody who's completed a degree but hasn't completed their professional engineer full licensure process. And we came to understand that there was potentially some surveyors out there that could fill that role and will be able to help us in the same way that an EIT would during the summer construction season. And so we'd like to try and get someone on now, get them trained up a little bit and be ready for the summer. And so this is actually not an added position at this time. It's really a swap for the EIT. Now there's a chance I could come back and say, we still want an EIT, but we're not there yet. So we're actually advertising already, pending your approval. We'll try and get that position filled quickly.
okay. What are the wishes?
I'd move to approve that position.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey.
Yes, motion carried.
All right, on to insurance. So we do carry, in the end, it feels sort of like two insurance policies. It's not quite that simple, but we have property insurance that renews in July. But this is all of our general liability, vehicle and equipment insurance. And you'll see that there is a little bit of an increase from last year to this year. And that is because we have more, although it's listed under the auto where you see the increase, it's actually really an increase in the number of trailers. So trailers and that kind of stuff that moves down the road, even if pulled by a vehicle, is covered under the auto portion of the insurance. I asked a question because I didn't understand. We have three categories listed here: general liability, which I think we all know what that means, auto, and then inland marine. And the explanation was that inland marine is things like Oliver County Highway equipment, UTVs, things that are mobile but not licensed is maybe the way to think about that. So anyway, we're seeking approval for us to engage in the contract for this. Menger Insurance is our local representative, and then this all happens through, there's a state pool as well. I assume there's a document, maybe? I don't have one in front of me, but if there's something to sign, we'd like the chairman to do that, please.
Okay, any questions?
There is. Oh, Beth says there isn't. No signature required, Corey.
Just spend $500,000 with no signature. I love it.
Yep.
That doesn't sound quite right. All right, what are the wishes, gentlemen?
I'd make a motion to approve the general liability auto and inland marine.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. The only discussion I have is we have to have insurance, guys. So at least we made it dramatic by taking time. I like it. Any discussion?
Are we keeping our current liability at the 5 million? I see where it asks if we were wanting to increase to 6 or 10.
I was briefed on this, but I didn't.
Which I presume would increase the rates if we did, but
Yes, it must. Sorry, I had a conversation with the person. We have a staff person, of course, who's actively involved. Oh, I see it. She didn't mention this to me when I was briefed last week, so I would think that must mean
we're staying.
staff reviewed it
Okay.
and determined we are in a good position.
Okay, any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Chris,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right. So as you know, when we purchased the fairgrounds, there were some existing leases in place with the clubs that were out there. And you remember I came before you in November, I think it was, and talked about our interest in updating all of those leases, some of them inventing a new one because one didn't exist, and some of them trying to recreate in some ways the lease that existed while modernizing some of the elements as well. So this is the first of those leases to come before you for final approval. So again, I think it was in November that I said, here's the draft lease. We'd like you all to review and approve them, which we did, have the chairman sign, so that when we distributed out to the clubs, they had a lease that had been approved by the board and was signed. In the course of updating this lease, which is with the Missouri Basin Bowman, they have an attorney who is an active member, maybe a board member, but an active member. And he did a nice job, I would say, of negotiating on behalf of them as a tenant and providing some good dialogue between myself, our legal team, and the interests of a tenant. And so the changes that we made here, I did highlight for you briefly in the past, but I can do it again. But then we implemented all of these changes because they seemed really relevant and appropriate for all of the tenants. We implemented them to all of the leases that went out. So the Bowman Club had their annual meeting in January, and they as a group, not just their board, but they as a group approved this lease in its current form. The only thing that is slightly different here than you all would have ever been told in the past is that we proposed there was a lot of negotiation about the number 19 our termination period. And so if we wanted to terminate the lease, there was discussions of 1 year, 2 years, 18 months. They came back in the final proposal with 21 months. I believe that our last position was if we could have 12 to 18 months, it helped us to hit a construction season. Their concern would be if we terminate the lease, they're going to have to potentially go build a building in the worst case scenario. And so they proposed 21 months. So I would say that's the only thing that you all need to really think about as a question mark. That wasn't exactly as we had proposed in the original final lease to them. I would just point out a couple of things that's different than maybe the original leases. The first of which is that we added the original termination date for their lease, which was December 31st, 2054. We talk here about equity interest, meaning they have invested all of the money to construct and maintain the building. And so your board or future boards would need to work with them to help to replace the space or help to offset any lost investment that they have in the property. Of course, there's insurance requirements, details about how they'll maintain it versus what we would do to help. There are stipulations in all of these leases relating to the period where the county fair will be happening on the fairgrounds, meaning in some cases clubs need to make their spaces available for fair use, and in other situations it merely says they can't do something that's contrary to the use of the fairgrounds in that period. Any questions for me?
I just see in one of these that the Bowman have a mortgage.
The Bowman did previously take out a mortgage to do a roof. Yep. So I think that's indicative of what's been happening. These clubs they paid all the money to construct the structures, and then they have been paying all of the utilities and the maintenance. And so, yep, they carry that and they take care of it.
So I just see that it makes it so the county is not liable for payments if they don't pay. So what's the lien, I guess, if they for some reason?
It is the structure.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Highly unlikely, but if they were to not make payments, the bank would take possession of that property.
Well, I think it would be the assets, other assets that the club has potentially, but
okay.
Yep. They're getting pretty close, actually.
Okay, any other questions? What are the wishes?
I'd move to approve this lease as presented.
And authorize chairman to sign.
Yes, sir.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Discussion? Roll call, please.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Right. Thank you. I did send out a note to most of the other clubs last week to say this one would be presented and hopefully approved today. And so I hope that starts the ball rolling down the hill to get the rest done as well. I gave in my original email to most of them, I gave a February 7th deadline with the hope that we would get some response back. Hopefully it's positive, and maybe a month from now be approving the rest of the leases on the site. All right, related to the fairgrounds, we have proposed rental fees for 2026. So there are certain spaces out at the fairgrounds that in the spring, it seems like spring, summer, fall, that are used by the community for various purposes. There are banquets, there are wedding receptions, there are sometimes other kind of one-off, there's some Christmas parties that are scheduled out there. So the Upper Missouri Valley Fair Association gave us the list of events that were scheduled for the spring, summer, fall of 2026, but we have not notified any of those folks of a fee structure because we hadn't set one yet. So the process to get this list together for your review is that partners to me in this project are the Parks Director, Jeremy Ledlum, and our Facilities Director, Keith Clevin. And so Jeremy collected from a number, not just in our community, but in the region, of what other primarily public organizations are charging, although we looked at some other spaces as well. And then the three of us sat down and really, we looked at the list of what's scheduled out there, talked about the kinds of events that we would hold, talked about the process that we'll need to go through to reserve the spaces for use for those tenants, really, and propose these fees based on what we see other organizations doing in the community and in the region. Our goal is to not make it unaffordable for people to be able to use the space, but to cover our expenses. And part of what we know is that the direction of the board is that you all want to make sure that we have representation there when events are happening, make sure that we're useful and helpful to the people that are using the space for events. And so we do think there's going to be some staff cost in doing that. Our plan right now is there are about 6 weeks in a row in the spring where there's something on the site once a week. And so our plan is for that 6-week period to have the three of us and staff as we can line them up to be the ones doing that work. Being present, checking people in, checking people out, to kind of understand what exactly the work is so that we can figure out if we hire someone, if it's always existing staff doing overtime work. We're just not there yet to know exactly how we're going to do it, but we'll figure it out through the spring. So the list that you see in front of you, we would propose as reasonable fees. And in terms of the offsite rental, there's the Fair Association would have promoted over the years that they had a number of things that you could rent and take off site. It seems like maybe that didn't happen a lot. And there is some complication in loading, for example, tables and chairs into trailers, moving them places. We didn't we didn't dig into that kind of off-site rental in putting this together because we're just not sure how much it was happening, but B, how much of that we can actually pull off and care for the things that are on the site. Now there is a pipe and drape trailer, and that has been used, we think, out in the community, but right now the trailer is not movable. There are some issues with tires and axles, and so we may come back to you with some explanation or some request about how that might be handled in terms of a fee, but we weren't in a place to do that this week. But I am getting phone calls from folks wondering about weddings for this summer or wedding receptions, and so we'd like to get these fees set so that I can give people appropriate answers.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for Helen? What are the wishes?
I would move to approve this rental fee schedule.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Steve,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Barry.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. all
That's
I
it.
have. Mhm.
Perfect. Last thing on the agenda is executive session. We need a motion to go into executive session to discuss negotiating strategy and or provide negotiating instructions and for attorney consultation regarding the purchase of property near the fairgrounds. Legal authority for holding an executive session is North Dakota Century Code Section 44-04-19.1, subsection 2, 5, and 9. North Dakota Century Code 44-04-19.2. The board will return to open meeting after the executive session.
Mr. Chairman, I'd move to executive session.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Okay, we will adjourn to executive session.
You guys just gonna call me?
Yeah, we'll call you, Steve.
Okay. Thank you.
Steve, are you still there?
Yep, I'm here.
Everybody's good? Okay, we will call the meeting back to order. 9:18. Okay, we were going to be looking for a motion to have Craig continue to negotiate on the fairgrounds area.
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Corey,
Yes.
Bo,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Motion carried. With that, we are nobody else. We're officially adjourned.